Hey, and thanks for watching. I recently received a question regarding our value-add apartment acquisition model in terms of how to add additional unit types to your analysis. Now, you might, if you've used our apartment development model, might have seen that we had included a macro where you clicked a button and that added a unit type, or you could actually click a separate button and that would delete a unit type. And I haven't added that yet to this model. I may at some point, probably will. But I thought I'd include a video here just quickly showing you, though, how you can add unit types or even take away unit types. So something you'll note, and this is a feature of this model and some of the other models where I've used a singular underwriting tab to handle both our inputs and our outputs. The benefit of this is that I can place all of the assumptions as well as calculations on the same row. And that has a huge benefit when we're talking about adding or removing unit types. So let me show you what I mean. So for instance, we have here the studio unit type. It sits on row 106. We set the assumptions for this unit type, and then out to the right, based on those assumptions, we see the cash flows here throughout the analysis period. And then if we continue to the right, I'm going to hit Control right arrow. That's going to take me out now to this dotted section. This is a section I created specifically for handling calculations related to the cash flows that we're seeing in our DCF over the analysis period. And up top here it says, right, calculations. And again, this is a feature that I've used in this model as well as in my self-storage development model and my apartment development model. And as we continue to the right, you're going to see here, this is a rent growth by unit for pre-renovation units. And you'll come to the right, and you're going to see now just simply the rent per month per unit for pre-renovated units. And then if I, again, Control right arrow, come to the very end of this and continue to the right, we're going to see the same thing, but for post-renovation. And we continue to the right, now we're going to see those, right? And you'll notice that this is before growth. I actually handle growth in the calculation for the cash flows within the analysis period. And anyway, then I hit Control right arrow, and you're going to see the percent rolled to market. And this just tracks the percentage of total units that have rolled from pre-reno to post-reno. And then to the right, and that's the end of all of these calculation modules within our unit type. Now, again, the benefit of this, though, is because that all of these calculations are on the same row, I can come and, for instance, just select that entire row, delete that row, and it doesn't break the model because any calculations for that specific row were housed on that row, aren't reliant on other areas, and quickly and easily I've removed a unit type from my analysis. Now, I don't necessarily recommend removing too many of these rows because at a certain point, you'll see you always need at least the top and the bottom row within this section. All right, so I can delete those three rows. I have the top and I have the bottom. I can't, though, delete any more. If I do, it will break the model. So just keep that in mind. Now I'm going to undo what I just did. And the reason is I'm going to add a row now. Okay, so I come in, and the first step is to select a row that is that falls somewhere within the range of the top and the bottom row. So it really doesn't matter where, but it needs to fall within that range. So I'll just come here, I don't know, let's go here, hit Control plus. So I selected that entire row, hit Control plus, and it opens up a row. Now the reason why it matters that I include it within the range is that that retains any formulas that are calling that entire range, right? Next, I need to copy information from one of the other rows within this range. And it really doesn't matter which row I choose. So I'll go ahead here. I'll take this one. I select the entire row. I hit Control C. Then I come down and I select again the row that we had inserted. And then I want to paste this formulas only. That's Alt-H-V-F. And why does that matter? Well, if I paste as just a standard paste, it's going to copy any of the formatting from that previous row. And in some cases, it doesn't matter. In other cases, it does. And so just a good convention to follow is when you're pasting formulas, just stick to the formulas. If you're only pasting values, paste just values. And when you do a straight paste, you're going to get unintended consequences of that. So here I just pasted formulas down, and what I get, though, is a row identical now to the row that I copied. And we could now insert multiple rows. So multiple unit types. So let's insert 3 rows, copy a row, select those 3 newly inserted rows, paste as formulas, Alt-H-V-F, and now I have, let's see, 9 unit types within my analysis. And then I would just go about changing the assumptions for those unit types. So that is how you add or delete unit types from the value add apartment acquisition model. Please let me know if you have any questions on this or anything else regarding the model. Otherwise, thanks for your time.